How's it going, everybody? And Monday, the holiday, President's Day Bible study. Daniel 5, 8 through 12, the writing on the wall is continued. Then all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing on the wall, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belteshazzar greatly troubled, and his expression on his face was changed in him, and his lords were just astonished at how he was acting. But the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house, and the queen said to the king, O king, live forever. Don't let your thoughts trouble thee, or, well, it just says, let thy countenance be changed. Let the expression on your face be, all freaked out. There is a man in your kingdom in whom the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him. These are polytheistic people, of course, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, the king, I say thy father, made master over all the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. For as much as an excellent spirit and knowledge and understanding and interpreting of dreams and showing of hard sentences and dissolving of doubts were found in this same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show you, O king, the interpretation. And continuing on in Romans. For when we were in the flesh, remember this this Romans 7 is the quintessential sin chapter. And on this Bible study channel, I did do a Bible study just on Romans 7. But here we get it in increments day by day. Anyway, so when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin were by the law did work in our members and bring forth fruit unto death. So in other words, the law didn't save anybody. Now, were there sheep on the earth? Yes. There were Jewish sheep on the earth, or those that sojourned with the church, known as the Israelites. The church was Israel, and Israel was the church, as it still is. If we are not of the bloodline, but we're sheep, we are called grafted in Jews, and that's what Romans 11 is about. So Romans 7, Romans 11, both I did Bible studies on, detailing those chapters. So let's continue. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve a newness of spirit. Yeah, you get baptized by the Holy Spirit, which is the new covenant, and not in the oldness of the letter. So it's no longer the letter of the law, and shellfish, and don't eat shellfish, and wear certain clothing, and keep the Sabbath, and all this kind of stuff. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I would not have known what sin was if not by the law. For, it helped me understand what lust was, how not to covet. And that's what lust is. Lust is covet. And let's see if it's giving us the same word both times, because lust means to covet. When it talks about look upon another woman with lust, it means look at her that in a way to where if you can possibly have sex with her, you are going to do it. It doesn't mean you can't look at somebody and go, wow, she's really beautiful. Or, hey, she's hot, or whatever your slang terms are. People go, you're not supposed to lust. That's not what it means. You're allowed to look and go, wow. What you're not allowed to do is look and go, I'm going to have sex with her if humanly possible. Because whether she executes the plan along with you or not, you've already committed in your heart to have fornicated or to have sin with that married woman, which is what that passage is about, why it's called adultery. So, but yeah, we can look it up. Lust, covet. Could be the same words because lust means covet, but they might have a different word there. So it is Romans 7:7, isn't it? Yes. Come down, there is lust. There's covet. Covet is G 1937. Lust is G 1939. So notice they are both married to each other because they mean the exact same thing. Thou shalt is also G 1937. And there's covet G 1937. Looks like they're all pointing to like the same stuff. To have desire for, long for, desire, to lust, after, covet. Well, there you go. That's 1937. You come over to 1939. Desire, craving, long desire is forbidden, lust. Yeah. Well, the one about look upon another woman with lust is the one that says covet. If you look upon another woman with lust, you have committed adultery in your heart. Matthew 5. Matthew 5:27, King James Version, Bible Gateway. And so it's 28. So it's Matthew 5:28. To lust after, G 1937. And there is G 1937 again. See, G 1937, you come down, and that's the one that says covet. And when you covet, you take. That's why there's a difference between that one and G 1939, desire, cravings, longing, desire for what is forbidden, lust. And it will still mean to desire in the point to where you will go after it if you can. It doesn't just mean that you're going, wow, she's married, so I can't be with her, but she sure is good looking. That's not what it means. It is about covet, which means to take. It's G 1937, G 1939. G 1939 is just more of a watered down version. G 1939. When you come to the definition, it says from G 1937. So that's what I'm trying to say. They're basically saying the same thing. Then you come to G 1937 and look up the definition. And it says from G 1909 and G 2372. So they don't have anything, in other words, this one is the stronger one. If we look at those two, basically just comes from the word passion, along the other one is upon it, or on over stuff. Yeah, just and then come down here to this definition. Where's the definition? Passion. So it's just to have passion upon something. But to the point of covet when you're using this particular word. which is the exact word Jesus says to look upon another woman with that word, which is to covet. All righty then. For I had not known lust except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. So it's lust and covet being the same thing. That's what he's saying. He's saying it's the same thing. I would have not known covet except the law had told me not to covet. Or I had not known lust except the law had told me not to lust. That's why they're interchangeable right there. But sin, taking occasion by commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. For without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, by it slew me. This is all just him explaining that the understanding right from wrong was exposing his weakness and his sin. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? God forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me, by which is good. So in other words, it's exposing my sinful nature, which will then turn me and make me live righteously. That sin by commandment might become exceeding sinful, and we'll continue with this. This is an ongoing study. All of this, chapter 7 is. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.